Hey, Slosh, I do Buckaroos. How the heck are you? I'm gonna be talking the beer and whiskey with for the purposes of this video. I do one more today since I'm off tomorrow. Societal collapse part two. Trying to get it all out of my system, so I won't delve into it anymore after today. But I can't make any promises because, as those of you that know me know that even I never know what I'm going to say next. I may not plan on bringing it up, but sometimes things just happen. There we go. Let me fix that real quick. Oops, hit the wrong button there. All right. So how the heck are you? So here I found another one. Looking for the perfect beer to have with a societal collapse. I found another milk. This is an older one. This one has the original label on it, but it doesn't have a readable date. The only number I could make out there was a one. I believe the first year this came out was 2011, but I can't believe I would have one that old left. I found this one in a very dark corner. uh, but I can't remember when they changed the label. I think the newest it could possibly be would be 15, but I'm not sure. I will say though, I don't know what this is gonna. I don't know if this is gonna be any good. I will be honest. I found a couple of them a couple years ago that I had to throw away that had gone bad. I didn't realize this one was still left there. Um, so it may not be any good, but I figure we might as well pop it and find out. We're going to do it live and see if she survived. Got out my good mother's glass just in case. I can't tell. I don't have great lighting here. See if there's any sediment in the glass. Well, I'm getting a slightly funky aroma there. We're going to let that sit a minute and we'll see. I haven't chosen my whiskey yet, so let's figure out. Let's see, societal collapse. What would be the best whiskey to have when everything is going to hell in a well? Let's just grab one. Shit, damn it. There we go. Lost my footing there. Grab one that's been around the longest. This is the Rivalist from Union Horse. They're out of Kansas City. Well, out of Lenexa, actually, the Kansas City area. It is an American single malt whiskey, and I love that category. I just saw a story today that this looks to be the next big thing in American craft distilling is a single malt, and I've been talking about it for a couple years now. So I'm glad I was a little bit ahead of the curve there. A lot of so-called whiskey folks are slow to get on board with the American single malt, but mostly because of, well, the Scotch market, right? That's a big thing. And it's big money, and there's a lot of whiskey guys that are afraid to rock that boat. But I'm not. I've been talking about the American single malt category for a good couple of years now. I've been buying every one I could possibly buy, and I've been finding some amazing whiskeys. On my bar cart here, I've got that Rivalist that I just poured, but I've got the Four Finger American single malt. I've got the Boulevard Collaboration single malt. So let's see if this beer survived. I'm a little not sure. At first I thought okay, but then I kind of little whiff of something. So anyway, no, she didn't make it. Didn't make it, man. I was afraid it would because I had to throw a couple bottles away a couple years ago. But after having the 2018, I was trying to be optimistic. But hell, you never know. That one had been around quite a while. We'll grab something else here in a minute. We'll just focus on this whiskey for now. You never know till you try, is the thing. As we prepare for a societal collapse, yeah, you never know. You just finish up everything, Tom. Enjoy what freedoms we have while we still have them before the Gestapo comes to haul me away. I love this whiskey. It's absolutely gorgeous. Union Horse, again, out of Lenexa, Kansas. Uh, this is American single malt whiskey. It is at 96 proof. Going to read a little bit here from their bottle. Rivalist American single malt whiskey is a small batch artisanal whiskey made from 100% malted barley by Union Horse Distilling, handcrafted from start to finish using the finest Midwest barley in our copper pot still, then aged to perfection in new oak barrels. Beautifully complex and elegantly simple, Rivals combines tender notes of caramel, orange peel, and baking spice with a long-lasting succulent finish. I sit back and pour a glass. They don't give an age on it. This was batch 3, bottle 158. It's a damn fine whiskey, though, man. I gotta tell you, it's a personal favorite. Lunch. As always, anybody watching, if you want to, if you have any questions or comments, throw it up there. So they mentioned notes. It's like caramel, orange peel, and baking spice. Sure, I'm gonna say okay to all of that, but I'm gonna add a few things. They say caramel. I'm gonna put a slightly finer point on it and say more of a dark, almost burnt sugar caramel. They say baking spice. Say baking spice. I'm gonna say allspice, cinnamon, definitely some ginger. I don't think it's gonna be out of the realm of possibility if you were to pick up some clove and nutmeg notes as well. But definitely get a little bit of ginger in there. Not necessarily known as a baking spice, but I'm really feeling some ginger. So I don't delve into politics a lot on these videos, but I have been known to over the years, especially during election years. But I feel like this particular cycle, I feel like I need to get it out of my system. So I'm hoping to do that with this last video, and then kind of move on and focus about happy things while we can. But yes, my fear is that we are currently witnessing the collapse of our society as we know it. Things are going to be very different. I feel like our country is going to be unrecognizable 4 years from now. We're certainly not going to be a free country by any stretch of the imagination in 4 years, especially by looking at some of the current executive orders that were just signed that clearly want to erase a very significant portion of our society, which is sad and disgusting and disturbing. They want to deny science. They want to take us to the dark ages where we're denying science. They would like to keep a certain segment of our society uneducated. They want it all to be about the ultra rich. I don't mind when I see on social media, you'll see a lot about, you know, urging you to send your kids to trade schools. I don't have an issue with folks going to trade schools and not college, but here's the issue. And here's a very important issue is that those rich folks are not sending their kids to trade school, just yours. So think about that. There's a reason why they don't want us educated. They want us to believe the ignorance that they spew out, and sadly, I mean, obviously, a large portion of our society bought into the stupidity because this is a situation that we're in. They like the lies, so they believe the lies. The lies are what they wanted to hear. There's no basis in fact, but yeah, they don't care about facts. They don't care about truth. They don't care about reality, as long as he says what they want to hear. And this is where we are, man. You would think that we all have a almost all of us anyway carry our phone with us, so we have a little computer in our pockets, and we have the ability to look up facts. And you can prove your argument by just pulling that up, and then you can show it to somebody, and they will look at that, showing that it is a proven fact, and then still deny it exists. And I don't know how we've become that society where we can just say things that are truthful are not true, and they can make up anything they want and claim it to be true, even though there's no proof. When you can show them actual proof, and they'll deny the proof. It is rather bizarre. So that again, it's that mass cognitive dissonance of the Trump nut supporters. They live in an alternate reality, and there's no way to reach them at this point. I mean, I was talking with somebody the other day who denied that the KKK was a white supremacist organization. Now, you cannot have a rational conversation with somebody that refuses to be rational. So, there was no point continuing that conversation. There's no point having any future conversations with that person because they have lost touch with reality. They live in this, wow, this Trump nutter zone, this twilight zone. That they only listen to what that ilk spews out. Well, what are you gonna do about it, Tom? If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem, and that is the problem. I don't know what the solution is. I'd like to be part of the solution. I'm not sure how to get there yet. Um, Other than like I'm doing right now, is stating the obvious. Raging against the machine. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what a good answer is. And I don't think anybody does. I think that is the problem. We could stage protests, but I don't know. I mean, I just think whatever we decide to do, whatever uprising happens, we just need to do it smartly. We need to not riot. We need to not loot. We need to do things in a very intelligent manner. Otherwise, you're going to become the enemy, or you're going to, no, we're already the enemy. You're going to look like the enemy. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on, or how we could fix the problem. I cannot believe I'm still I mean I'm still in a little bit of denial that he even won and was sworn in. because it just doesn't make sense to me. There was no logical reason for how he should have won that election because his campaign was unraveling near the end. I mean, he's talking about Hannibal Lecter being a real person. He was filleting a microphone. There was so many bizarre. He shit in his pants in court. I mean, there's so many bizarre things. I mean, you can't write a novel. If somebody would have wrote this novel a decade ago, it'd have been chucked. This is ridiculous. This could never happen. But this is the reality we live in now, and it just seems surreal. It doesn't seem like it should be possible. People actually voted for somebody that has no connection with reality, that spoke about a fictional character as if they were a real person. Filleted an imaginary microphone, shits his pants on the daily. I mean, this is who you voted for, man. A rapist, a felon. I mean, oh my gosh, you can't write fiction like that. Gosh, that's a nice whiskey. I'm going to add a couple of things here. I feel like I'm picking up some. They mentioned baking spice, but I'm going to say baking cocoa as well. This is a little hint of almost a slightly bitter chocolate note in there, like baking chocolate, baking cocoa. I don't know what the correct thing is. He used to say cocoa, but there's a little bit of vanilla running in there. The baking spice, sure, but I'm going to double down on my ginger that I said earlier. Yeah, you definitely going to taste some ginger. A lot of big oak, a little drier than you might expect it to be. I just love this category for a lot of reasons because I feel like American distilleries are taking the single malt whiskey in directions that, for whatever reason, other distillers hadn't done before. Scotch is known for being peated. Irish is known as a smooth, sweeter one. And you've got Japanese whiskey that's created its own market, but they've all traditionally have used, second use or used bourbon barrels. Well, not all, but many American single malt whiskeys are using new charred oak, which gives that whiskey something else, man, just a lot more flavor to hang on to, which makes me wonder why they didn't do that before. Because it adds a whole other dimension to that 100% malted barley. Restless Spirits has a few versions of a single malt. One of their versions very closely resembles an Irish single malt, other than it's made here, but it takes those same processes. So the flavor profile is very much like an Irish, which I really enjoyed. But this Rivalist from Union Horse is just gorgeous, man. I just love this whiskey. But I opened it back in August. I figured I probably ought to try to get through it. Kind of forgot about it since I brought so much. I brought some stuff home from vacation. But I figured I need to start working through some bottles now. Turned 60 this year. So I'm trying to decide. I've got a few bottles unopened. I'm trying to decide which one to save to open up on my birthday. Got a couple possibilities. I'll open up one of them. I've got 5 unopened currently. And one of them I'll open on St. Patrick's Day, probably, unless I may buy an Irish. I don't. This is one of the very rare times I don't have an Irish whiskey. This time last year, I had several Irish whiskeys, but then I kind of powered through them and got them all gone before I went on vacation. And I haven't bought any. We are, I mean, I'm less than 2 months away from St. Patrick's Day, so I'm probably going to have to go out and get some Irish whiskey at some point. Oh, Eric, I just noticed your messages, man. You're not popping up on my screen for some reason, but you're showing up there. All right, so I will answer you. What am I sipping on? Let me show you the bottle, Eric. I just looked down and saw your messages. This is a Union Horse Rivalist. It is from Union Horse Distilling out of Lenexa, Kansas, just just outside of Kansas City. It's a damn fine whiskey. Uh Man, it's good. When I don't have this whiskey for a while, I sometimes I forget how great it is. It's just amazing. And they state it very well here. I like the way they put it. They say start to finish using the finest Midwest barley malt, and then aged to perfection, beautifully complex and elegantly simple. Beautifully complex and elegantly simple. That's a perfect description. Complex yet approachable is the phrase I typically use, but they say it much better than that. So, anyways, since I don't have my beer, we're going to wrap this one up a little sooner than usual. But anyway, yeah, you never know if unless you try. There are those that want to say, well, one side isn't any better than the other. Um, and I don't find that to be true. I don't think either side is perfect. That's for damn sure. But at least the other side wasn't going to usher in fascism like this current administration is going to. I mean, the last time he had a shot at it, it was the most corrupt administration in modern history. And this isn't my opinion. These are facts you can look up. Look up the Look up the arrests. Look up, just look it up. Uh, I mean, it is a fact. It's a proven fact that that administration was the most corrupt in our history. That first Trump nuts administration, and he's putting folks in place right now that clearly aren't qualified for their position. So I'm kind of curious. We've got a vice president that's clearly not qualified, and this administration is full of nothing but racist bigots and crooks. So I'm not expecting good things. I Here's the truth. In all honesty, I hope I'm 100% wrong. I hope 4 years from now, I'll have to say, hey, I apologize. I said some things. I was wrong. I just don't think I'm wrong. But we'll know. We'll know in time, especially again with the executive orders that he's already signed. Clearly, there's a lot of bigotry, hatred, and racism in motion, and I'm just not optimistic. I want to be, I really do, but I'm just not feeling it. And anybody that knows me knows I'm a very optimistic individual. I'm a very much half glass half full kind of guy. But man, you just put somebody in power that has uh, his cognitive ability is questionable at best. I mean, clearly, there's some dementia in place with the stuff he's been saying. But they're trying to cover for him because he's the devil they know, right? He's saying all the evil things they want to hear, and you got Musk nuts, who's like the Wizard of Oz in the background, pulling all the strings. So yes, I'm. So yeah, I think we're fucked. but but yeah, but in all honesty, I mean, I'm in all honesty, I hope I'm 100% wrong. It just the things that I am seeing right now, what's already been proven to be true. The first for his first term that was so horrible and corrupt. I have no reason to think this one is going to be better, especially with the people he's putting in place right now. I haven't seen one person qualified to do that job. So here we go. We're just going to have to find out. The people that voted for him fucked around, and now they're about to find out. And when they start getting persecuted, um, because they fit into some of those spaces that they didn't think they did, they're going to go, oh, huh. Yeah, here we go. I mean, clearly Musk next is going to be his propaganda minister. I'm just curious who's going to head up the Gestapo. I know they won't call it the Gestapo, but it'll essentially be the same thing. I'm going through all the names of the folks that he's dealt with. So I'm and I've got a couple ideas, but I don't want to manifest it. I'm going to wait to see who he names for the department of whatever they decide to call it, but it will essentially be our version of the Gestapo. So anyway, hey, everybody out there, do the best you can with what you got. I am Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist. I won't say beer whisperer because I didn't drink any beer for this video, so I'm just going to hang on to this one particular persona. I'm Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and for those of you that willingly voted for a rapist, I got nothing for you. All around good guy, Sláinte.